And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday. It's the 17th of December, 2020. It was on this day, 1790, the Aztec Sun Stone was discovered in Mexico City, found by workers who were doing repairs, found a huge stone covered in symbols, 12 feet in diameter, 3 feet thick. The center of the stone depicting the sun god and the story of creation, with a solar calendar around the edges and the cardinal points of the universe. Most archaeologists think that it was used mostly as a stone for human sacrifice. It's the birthday of the writer William Safire, born New York City, 1929. His father was a thread manufacturer, but when the boy was 4 and his older brothers were teenagers, his father died of lung cancer, and life got very hard for the Safires. His mother told her sons, "All you have in this world is blood and friendship." He was a good writer. He went to the Bronx School of Science, got a scholarship to Syracuse University, dropped out after 2 years to work for a columnist and radio and TV host Tex McCrary. William Safire interviewed movie stars and gangsters, and when he was just 23, he organized the rally in 1952 that helped to convince Dwight David Eisenhower to run for the presidency. He became a public relations man, and he set up the famous kitchen debate in Moscow between Richard Nixon and Nikita Khrushchev in a model home built by a company called Allstate Properties. Safire was their PR man. The home was designed for the American exhibition in Moscow, and Nixon was so impressed with Safire that he hired him for his presidential campaign in 1960. Safire came back in 1968, was a main speechwriter in the White House. He wrote the speech for Spiro Agnew with the phrase "nattering nabobs of negativism." After Watergate, he resigned, went to work for the New York Times, where he wrote from 1979 until his death at the age of 79. It was on this day, 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright had their first successful flight in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. It didn't feel successful to them, however, and when they left Kitty Hawk, Wilbur told his brother, "Not within 1,000 years will man ever fly." Here's a poem for today by Jim Harrison, entitled Searchers. At dawn, Warren is on my bed, a ragged lump of fur, listening to the birds as if deciding whether or not to catch one. He has an old man's mimsy delusion. A rabbit runs across the yard, and he walks after it, thinking he might close the widening distance, just as when I followed a lovely woman on Boulevard Montparnasse, but couldn't equal her rapid pace, the click-click of her shoes moving into the distance, turning the final corner. But when I turned the corner, she had disappeared, and I looked up into the trees, thinking she might have climbed one. When I was young, a country girl would climb a tree and throw apples down at my upturned face. Warren and I are both searchers. He's looking for his dead sister Shirley, and I'm wondering about my brother John, who left the earth on this voyage all living creatures take. Both cat and man are bathed in pleasant insignificance, their eyes fixed on birds and stars. Searchers, a poem by Jim Harrison from his collection Saving Daylight. That's the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, December the 17th, funded by donations from listeners like you, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.